Welcome to America's Tribune. This is the America Rising podcast with host David Rousselette. Tonight, we are going to be talking about the census bill that the Democrats just killed in the Senate. Let's get into it. Okay, hello people. So if you've been following us, you know that we've been talking about the reasons why Joe Biden has this border wide open. And our take on it, and we've been saying it over and over, our take has been that he is trying to flood Democrat states with heads to count for the census that's going to be coming up in 2030. And the reason he's doing that is because the census is used to redistribute the 435 representatives in the House. Of the 435 representatives, each state gets a percentage of that 435 representatives for the House of Representatives, and it's all based on population percentage. So the census is pretty big. And if you are flooding your states with heads to count, they don't really care how these people are taken care of. All they care about right now is the 2030 census and trying to take control of the House of Representatives for that entire decade. They will not lose it. Now, by flooding all of these immigrants into those states, into the Democrat states, and they declare their state a sanctuary state, and the Democrats, they have the NGOs busing these people to their areas. They've been bringing flying into their states. For what reason? The only reason is to affect the 2030 census. This is in preparation. Now, this is a long play, but they're going to continue doing this. If Biden is reelected, you think the immigration problem is bad now? They're going to continue flooding these areas just so that they can count them in the census, just so that they can increase the number of representatives that are going to be given to these Democrat states, and they're going to be taken away from the Republican-run states. This is going to give them complete and total control of the House of Representatives by 2030. Now, if we turn the clock back a little bit to when Donald Trump was president, I think Trump kind of knew that the Democrats were going to try and do this, and that they were attempting to do something similar for the 2020 census. And Trump actually created a memo and was sending the memo out to try and figure out what the percentage was of people that were being counted in the census that were undocumented. That got challenged in court, and the court said that Trump didn't have the right to do that. So that whole strategy went sideways. A new strategy, in the same respect, a new strategy just came out, and here, let me show you. 1 second while I figure this out here. Hang on. Okay, so this is called the Equal Representation Act. And this was put out, and what it wants to do, if you see the full title here, hang on, let me get my cursor right here, to require a citizenship question on the census. And what the Republicans are attempting to do, now Trump's attempt was shut down in the courts, and his shutdown in the court system was the right thing for the court to do, but the Republicans now can come back, and if they take control of the Senate, which they need one seat in the Senate's split right now, and the vice president is the deciding vote. Now, if the Senate stays split and Trump becomes president, the vice president, his vice president, will then be the deciding vote for the Senate. And if the Republicans keep control of the House, they're going to be able to reissue a bill that will do exactly what this Equal Representation Act is trying to do. But let me show you why I say they'd have to reintroduce it. So here's who introduced it. This is in the House. So this is Edwards and Davidson, introduced bill to stop illegal immigrants from skewing congressional representation and electoral college votes. Yes, electoral college votes as well. So not only does the census affect the amount of representatives your state has, it also affects the amount of electoral college votes that your state is worth in the presidential elections. So that's huge, and I'm going to show you how huge it actually is. So what I'm going to show you, the people that submitted it, it was submitted, you can see here, back in January. And it was submitted both in Congress and the Senate. And here, the GOP effort to stop illegal immigrants being counted for House districts and electoral college got shot down in the Senate. How did it get shot down in the Senate? Because we got a 50-50 Senate with Kamala Harris being the deciding vote. And of course, she is going to shut it down because all they want to do is control. This is all about power and control. They don't care about how they're affecting everybody in this country. They don't care about the safety and security of these immigrants. They only care that they're going to take full control of the House of Representatives with this strategy. Now, in California, immigrants make up, this is insane, immigrants make up 23% of California's population. In New York, 23% of their population in New York. And now those are two Democrat states. We got one Republican state, 17% of the population in Texas. Now, in California, this is a 2024 number, so 23% as of 2024. For the New York and Texas statistics here, these are 2018 statistics. So this does not include all the people that just flooded into this country. So Texas right now should skyrocket off of this percentage. So the amount of electoral college votes that Texas would be worth would be going way up, as well as California and New York, if a bill like this isn't passed by the 2030 census. Now, let's take a look at the Electoral College. And in the Electoral College, if you look, California being the biggest win of any state with 55 Electoral College votes. Now, if the Republicans are able to win the presidency, so if Donald Trump wins the presidency, and let's say the House and the Senate, if the House and the Senate stay the same, and Donald Trump wins the presidency, which gives him vice presidency as well, his vice president, if that happens and nothing budges in the Senate and nothing budges in the House, they keep control of the House and they keep control of the Senate, the Republicans are going to be able to pass a bill, maybe even the same bill, Equal Representation Act. They will be able to get this bill passed in preparation for the 2030 census. And if they're able to do that, and get the illegal immigrants taken out of the census counts, the Democrats are going to be absolutely screwed when the Electoral College votes come out and when they're doing the tallies. The Democrats are going to have to win more states in order to get the same amount of votes for their presidential candidate. So they're going to have to win more states as opposed to just the like California, New York. You combine those two together, and for a Republican, they have to win pretty much the entire Midwest just to equal California. You look at that, let's see if I pull it up here again. Look at, you got 3, 4, 6, 5. It's, so the Midwest is very, you can win a ton of states in here and still not equal California. So what this would do is it would drop this number here by more than 11 votes, and it would increase a lot of these areas in here because now their percentage should go up. Based off of the percentage that their people are to the total population of the country. So now, when you're looking at this, right, and you see exactly what's going on, there is a battle going on, and these migrants are being used by the Democrats to try to take power in 2030. And the Republicans are going to pass this bill because, I mean, their only other option is to, if they win the election, when November comes around, when Donald Trump wins, he is going to have to commit to the largest massive deportation process that this country's ever seen. And he's going to have to come up with something in order to do that. And is he going to be able to do it? Even if he does do it, are the Democrat states going to cooperate? Are their governors going to cooperate with this deportation? If only the Republican states are deporting, well, that plays right into the Democrats' hands. If the Republicans can't get this Equal Representation Act passed. Because all they would be doing is depleting the amount of people that are going to be counted in their census. Reducing their representation, reducing their power in the House, and giving the Democrats the majority. And if the Democrats pick up one seat, it was a 50-50 split. I'm going to have to look. I think it's still a 50-50 split. I don't know if the Democrats have one seat on the Senate. But the only way that the Republicans can keep control, and this is of the House of Representatives, this isn't even including all the shenanigans going on with the voting and how none of that stuff got fixed. But right now we have to focus on this 2030 election cycle, because not election cycle, the 2030 census cycle. Because if they don't, it doesn't matter, even if they fix what was broken in the elections, even if they fix that, the Democrats are going to move all those representatives over to blue states. So this is the type of games, political chess matches that are being played right now in changing the dynamics of how this country functions. Now, if the Republicans get this passed, here's the downside to it. If the Republicans do win the presidency and win the House and win the Senate and then pass the Equal Representation Act, and illegals are no longer counted in the census, not only will the Republicans take full control of the House, but the cities that are loaded up with these migrants, one of the other things that the census dictates is federal funding. They're going to lose a ton of funding that they would normally get because of the amount of migrants that are in those cities that are in those states. So all of that funding that they're getting to take care of these migrants, all of that funding goes away. So now what happens to the people? You know, it's not that it's a good thing or a great thing, but I mean, what's happening to the people right now? I mean, you look, the Democrats are buying this. And how are they buying it? Let's see, they're giving these migrants $10,000 in debit cards, free cell phones, free housing. Now you know why. They're buying the 2030 census. That's what they're doing. This has to be stopped. It has to be stopped. Now, if the Republicans are able to pass the Equal Representation Act, if they take control of the presidency and the House and the Senate, if they're able to do that, then this country is going to be left in a situation of what to do with all these migrants. Because the migrants are not going to be there to affect the Democrats anymore. And the only way the Democrats are going to be able to take control again, it would have to be all the way out to 2040. So you'd be looking at a massive Republican control for that long. Well, I think that's pretty much all I got, people. Just going through my notes right now. Yeah, that's all I got for right now. So let me know in the comments what you think about this information. If you're not a follower, please follow, like, subscribe, depending on where you're seeing us. I just started loading videos up to our YouTube channel. I'll include that in whatever format you're watching this on. So if you're watching us on Facebook, or if you're watching us on X, or if you're watching us on Rumble, or Instagram, if I can get this. Nope, already went over the time. So follow us on all of these other platforms as well, and check us out on YouTube as well, as we just opened up on YouTube. So thank you. Have a great and fantastic night.